Okay, we're a big family here, so I can be real with you, right? I just want to share that I've been feeling so depressed for the past week. And not clinically depressed, but just in a dip. Low motivation, unworthy, don't know what my purpose is. I'm just losing a lot of clarity and I feel lost and I have no energy. But I have to film a YouTube video today because I want to stay consistent. I still care about my long-term vision. Even though I don't feel like it, I know intellectually that I care. So I want to show up. And even though I had different plans on filming other types of YouTube videos today, they are good topics, but I need to bring the energy to it and I cannot fake it. I just feel so shitty right now. But I want to show up anyways because discipline is showing up even when you don't feel like it. And I have to be flexible. I'm going to film a little bit more spontaneously, unfiltered and real because I'm not going to fight how I feel right now. And I want this to be helpful to someone else that might also feel depressed. And I want you to start listening to what I have to say because if you're also in a moment right now where you feel low motivation, oh my God, I feel like my voice is cracking. If you also feel like you're in a season where you're starting to feel depressed, this is not a bad thing. This is your body and mind asking you to pause, to make you reflect a little bit and see what needs to change. I think we are mourning the version of ourselves that we need to let go. And that makes a lot of sense because if I think about my month of August, it has been my favorite month of the year. I had so much fun. I danced, I socialized, I did new activities. So it was an incredible month. And now because I feel like the highs were so high, it almost needs to balance itself out and come back to reality. That was really fun, but it's not sustainable. And the reason why it was fun is because I never do it. So now I'm almost in this natural low period to recalibrate. But the thing is, I have sensed myself trying to chase highs still when I'm trying to get back on track. And the thing I've been realizing is I am so addicted to my phone. I'm always checking my phone. I always have my phone near me. I scroll, I go on apps I never used to go on to, and I just consume content. And it's not making me feel good at all. I feel my best when I never consume content, or at least mindlessly. So think about in your life, if you're feeling a certain way, how are you self-sabotaging? Because I think naturally I was going to get a little bit of low from having such a good time in August. Like it's natural, but I didn't cope with it the way I should have coped with it. And I can see in myself that I'm always chasing dopamine. I'm addicted to it now. I just want easy hits of dopamine to forget that I'm feeling the reality of discipline and having to focus on my long-term goals. Now, the last thing to do when you're in this situation is to actually indulge in those things. I know you might not want to be disciplined and meal prep and sacrifice things and work on your goals. I know you might not want to do it, but you actually have to do those things. You also need to recover in a way. So if you also had fun, which is good, you need to have fun in life. Life is not about always delaying gratification. You need to be gratified sometimes, which is what I did. But you need to rest. And I noticed a few days ago, it felt so good. I forgot how good it felt to do this. I decided to go on a walk, just listen to music, not journal, and then find a spot where I could sit outside and look at the moon and do nothing and not think about nothing and just try to feel. And I know that it sounds very simple, but I was such in a mode of always trying to distract myself and consume things that what was healing to me was actually doing nothing, was not being disciplined doing something because it didn't feel good. I felt almost overwhelmed because I was fighting so much internally and I was like, wait a minute, I don't want to fight. I just want to be. I just want to sit still. And I'm someone that doesn't cry a lot. I wish I cried more actually because I feel like I hold it inside of me and I just don't really know how to cry, if that makes sense. And when I sat alone one of those nights, I imagined sitting next to Jesus, okay? And I'm sorry if you're not religious or you don't really think about life that way, but please be open-minded and hear me out. What I was picturing next to me was the perfect man, the one that loves me unconditionally. And when I was sitting and looking at the moon with Jesus, I imagined someone that forgave me for being addicted to my phone, for neglecting my goals, for not being as disciplined as I wanted to also give me permission that it was okay to do what I did, to have fun, and also just to be with me, because I felt extremely alone. And even though I was with my whole team, if you don't know me, my name is Bianca St. George. I'm a professional athlete, and we were traveling for 3 weeks in a row on the road for games. And even though I was with a lot of people, I almost felt extremely lonely because I needed to be alone. And when I sat outside and I sat next to someone that is the perfect man, that loves me unconditionally and that will always be there for me, and that just wants to build a relationship with me no matter what I did, no matter my circumstances, they just want to be there for me, that actually made me cry. And it felt so good. And that reminded me that ultimately, when I lose my relationship with God, the creator of this world, the universe, I really don't feel good. I feel my best when I am closest to him. And if you're someone that doesn't really believe in God or isn't spiritual, it might be very difficult to understand how much this means to me and how much it could mean to you. But what I love most about it is you don't have to have proof to believe. You just have to have faith. And for me, choosing to believe in God only helps in my life. So why not? We don't need science and logic for everything. You can believe in something just by intuition. And for me, when I believe that there is a God that loves me, there is something greater than me that has a good plan for me, that wants to be there for me, you never feel alone. And you always feel like you can go to someone and be forgiven. And it allows you to forgive yourself as well. You need that because life is always going to go like this. You're always going to have ups and downs. But how you manage your downs is really what's going to determine how your life unfolds. Because if you don't manage it properly, you end up self-sabotaging so much more and going in a deeper hole. And it's getting harder and harder to get out of it. And then you settle for less. And then you end up wasting so much time and having an average life, a life that you didn't really want to build. But you'll accept it because you have gone so far down the road that changing would be too difficult. Don't let that be you. Don't let yourself go there. So now I am forcing myself to spend time with him every day, even though it still feels difficult. It's easy to feel good when it comes naturally, but that's kind of like motivation. It feels good to do things when motivation comes. But that's not sustainable. That's not reliable. You need to be disciplined in everything. And for me right now, even though I know that I feel my best when I pray to God, it's not like I'll naturally start praying all the time. I have to force myself to do it. I have to force myself to sit down and get into the mood. And I'll always have a little bit of resistance. Like I don't want to do it. But that's your lizard brain. That's the part of you that wants comfort, that wants to escape. But I trust that the more I do it, the easier it will be to fall into that mode, to be more grateful, to be more connected. It feels really good to talk more about my faith now. And actually, I just bought this little pendant today. It's super tiny, but I love it because it's like a reminder for me. And I used to cringe at people that had that when I was younger. I was like, what is that? Because to me, when I was a kid, by the way, I used to not be religious at all. And I didn't think that people still believed in those type of things. I grew up in an atheist environment. Imagine that. But it's not until recently that I felt like something was missing. And I've done so much research from college. In 2015, I started. And slowly but surely, it brought me to where I am today, where I believe in Jesus. And having this cross here to me is so special because now I get to look at myself and see this little reminder and know that he's there with me. But I just think it's really surprising sometimes to realize that I am wearing this because I swear, when I was in college, I would see people tattoo verses or the cross on their body, and I was like, what? People still believe in that? This is where I come from. That mindset, it's crazy. So I've come a long way. So I'm not here telling you like I've been brainwashed from my childhood to believe in that type of thing. I have done and explored so many different areas, and it brought me to him. And I'm very, very afraid to talk about this on YouTube because it's still so new and it's not something I've really been comfortable even talking to my friends about or people that have known me for a long time. But I don't want to shy away from who I am. And second of all, it's what helps me the most in my life. So it feels wrong to not even talk about it. It's like I'm robbing you from peace. And it might not speak to you right now at all, but the day that it does, you'll see that everything will make sense. And maybe you're skeptical of that, but I'm just telling you my story. And it might plant a seed, who knows? Later on, something might unfold and you'll be like, oh, that's what Bianca was talking about. Now, thank you so much for listening. I feel better just talking to you right now. And I really hope that whatever time you go through, you know it's temporary. It's not you. And try to be your own best friend here. Try to act as someone you admire. What would someone you admire do when they're in this situation? They would be patient with yourself. They would give you grace. They would take care of you. They would allow you to rest. They would make you focus on your sleep, your diet, your exercise, even though you don't feel like it, because they know what's best for you. Trust you know what to do. Follow your intuition. It knows everything. And you'll see it's going to get better. Let's get there together. I love you so much, and I will see you very soon in a new video. Mwah.